Top softball squads from all over the Buckeye State converge here at Marshall Park in Ontario this weekend for the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic, which kicks off tonight with the resurgent Ashland team taking on the #1 squad in all of Division 6, undefeated Danville. It all goes down live and free exclusively right here on the OH Report. We've got pre-game coverage and your first pitch all coming up next.
Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Ontario Youth Sports pregame show. We've got a beautiful yet breezy day here at Marshall Park in Ontario for the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic. Ashland and Danville just about set to take center stage right here and now. Good afternoon, folks. My name is Brian Skowronski, and making her OH Report debut, Miss Cathy Sapp with me here on the call. I think we got a pretty fun matchup. Danville's undefeated. They're a small school power. Ashland starting to bounce back. They've got a good season going so far, and they're a much bigger school. So that's what this event's all about, just giving teams an opportunity from around Ohio to come together and see what they got.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Brian. I'm excited to be here. Let's see what this matchup looks like. I know Ashland's had a rough couple of games, but maybe that put a fire in their belly and they can come back and make something happen tonight.
They're going to be the home team here this afternoon. They just finished up the coin toss, so the Arrows are out there and starting on defense today. Henderson is your starting pitcher for the Lady Arrows. And as you mentioned, Cathy, started off really well. It's a young team, had 4 wins in their first 6 outings, and then since kind of come back to earth a little bit. Some of those struggle bus rides for them, but making plays like this, that's really going to help to start off the game with a nice defensive effort. Take a second look on our strategic outdoor solutions replay, and the second baseman with a nice snag up top there to put Addison Mickley to bed, the first batter. That'll bring up your long-lost cousin here. This is Abby Sapp stepping in.
Sapp's all over the place. Can't get rid of us.
We heard that you guys are kind of a mainstay down in the Knox County area.
Yes, there are a lot of Sapps in the Knox County area. My husband hails from Florida, so I would love to meet some of these Sapps from this area. I have yet to meet any of them.
Well, here's your first opportunity. This is a senior. This is Abby. Off to a nice start so far on her season, but a swing and a miss from the number 2 hitter here. As getting ahead in the count nicely goes Henderson. The pitch sinks down just a little bit low, and that'll be ball 1. Breeze blowing from all sorts of directions right now. Just kind of how it goes out here in Ontario. You're kind of a lifelonger out here in Ontario, Cathy. Is there ever a breeze-free day, or is this kind of the status quo?
It is kind of the status quo. We got a lot of flat areas here. Not in this particular area, not a lot of trees to block the wind. So, yeah, we get a little bit of a breeze. But if it's going the right way, it'll take that ball right away for you.
See if that's the case here for Sapp, standing in, looking at the 1-2 pitch. And that's outside. Leaving up the count at 2 apiece. Marley Henderson, just a freshman. And she walks Sapp. We'll put her over on first base. Talking to Michelle Van Horn, the head coach for Ashland, coming off of a 3-18 season last year. She said it's been super exciting. The team is incredibly young, and she's like, we were at a much different place last year mentally than we are now. And just a big smile on her face, even though a few losses in a row coming into today, and just really excited about the potential to go head-to-head against a team like the Blue Devils. Thought it was pretty refreshing to hear.
Yeah, they get a little experience behind them. That camaraderie increases, and good things will happen. It'll start to fall into place.
Breeze really starting to pick up now, as we've got Marista Brown putting one out into center, finds the gap. Sapp's going to turn the corner. She's heading for home, and quickly it is 1-0 Danville. The Blue Devils strike first. Huge hit here for the catcher, right where the defense is not, and then heads up base running. And this is what Danville's done to all their opponents so far, Cathy. They've got up early, and pretty much they've been steamrolling the competition, so this is kind of what they've been accustomed to so far here in 2025.
Defensively, Ashland has allowed some big innings, so let's hope that they can avoid that, as Danville's so strong offensively.
Well, unless you're a Danville fan, then you're perfectly okay with seeing those crooked numbers going up here early on.
Sure.
They've had a lot of shortened games due to the run rule. That is at least 4.5 innings in the book if you're up by 10 or more runs, and more than half of their competition so far have been ended in that variety. This now, the cleanup hitter, Alicia Humphrey, another senior, and that's a big contrast in today's game. Plenty of sophomores, freshman starting pitcher here for Ashland, and then it's quite the opposite for Danville. This is a team that's kind of been building up to this season.
That experience definitely shows today.
Nice strikeout, though, for the Frosh, as Humphrey sits down, and that'll bring up Bartok. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Bartok on the season, a .490 average. And as you look up and down the roster, plenty of hitters hitting at least 400 for Danville. So it's a wealth of riches here for Charlie Duncan's club. And even if you don't get hurt by the top part of the lineup, they're just as dangerous, it seems, on the back half too, Cathy.
Absolutely. A lot of consistent hitters on this squad.
Got to be an opposing pitcher's nightmare. And they'll just issue the walk here to Bartok. Second one so far by Henderson. And brings up Payne to the dish. Maddie Payne also batting around .490 this season. OBP of .530. And she looks at ball 1. Ashland trying to get out of the inning with minimum damage done. This will certainly help. And they'll get the out over at first. So even though the Blue Devils, plenty of success here up at the plate, they only end up with 1 run. And not a bad sign here for this young Arrows team. You allow a run, Cathy, but they settled in nicely and get the last 2 outs.
Yeah, they're keeping them close. They're playing some strong defense, so hopefully they can get their bats hot and make some plays on the offensive side.
Let's show you more about Ashland as we jump into their team spotlight presented by Ontario Youth Sports. And for the Arrows, they've already eclipsed last season's win total behind a really talented core of returning all-league players. They're in the midst of a midseason slump, but looking to end that 3-game slide here today. But great positive vibes just being down near the dugout and checking them during their pregame warm-up, Cathy. This seems like a confident team that they're excited for this matchup, like I said, to go up against an undefeated squad.
Absolutely. They play confidently. They play together. The camaraderie is very evident when you watch them interact with each other, and that produces good things on the field.
They have not hit the ball very well here as of late. Defensively, though, we've seen some flashes already here in today's contest. And we're going to focus our spotlight now on Isla McFrederick. She is our player spotlight. Does a nice job of protecting home plate on the defensive end, and then a solid hitter now as a junior. Leads the team with 7 RBIs and a pretty nice batting average as well, up around 370. So this is one of the few kids coming back that they really felt like they could count on.
Absolutely.
Second team All-OCC performer in 2024. Trying to probably even jump up beyond that, be a first team All-League performer in a really tough conference. The OCC loaded with softball talent this year. Certainly Lexington's up at the top of the heap. But Ashland, with this young squad, just trying to get some good experience here throughout the course of the year with all these youngsters before they get into tournament play, where I believe they are competing in Division III this year. So Cathy, for them to get it done, here's my keys to victory. You just got to produce some base runners. You're going up against a really strong defensive team, so give yourself a chance. The more opportunities, the better. And then you just cannot allow a big inning. That's really fueled the Devils so far to this 12-0 start, and I think even though they gave up a run in the first, that's exactly what you need to do. Don't allow 2, 3, 4, or even more runs in an inning. Limit them to 1 or 2, and you can hang around.
Absolutely. They got out of that inning quickly, minimal damage. That way they can hold them close.
And here they are stepping into the batter's box for the first time. Arrows will have Jade Kirk leading things off. Addie Bocock, the pitcher. And the first one from the junior upstairs. And I'm sure you can tell by watching at home just that the hair in the foreground and just how much wind and breeze is really coming through Ontario right now. As a former softball player, Cathy, and as a catcher, it's probably tough just to stay in your stance at times when you've got these blustery winds coming by.
It is. It is. You're trying to be quick on your feet, so you're balancing up on the balls of your feet, and to balance that way with the wind blowing, it can be a real challenge at times.
This one inside, some chin music, and that'll be 3-1 now with the count. The pitch, again, inside. This time it catches a piece of the plate. And now the payoff pitch, a swing and a miss. So Bocock comes back nicely and sets her down. Nicely done by Addie. Coming back from that 3-1 hole. Back-to-back strikes. And we move on now. Here's Josie Van Tilburg, sophomore shortstop. And she takes a look at strike one. So it'll be slapped back out of play. And we've got a pitcher's count, 0-2. And when you're a catcher in this situation, Obviously, against the number 2 hitter, don't want to give her anything to really be able to sink their teeth into, right, Cathy?
Absolutely. You want to try to stay ahead of her count-wise at all costs.
Case in point right there. Tried to get her to chase. The 1-2 pitch. And that'll miss inside as well. Bocock deals. Got a good chunk of that one. And way up into the top of this nearby tree. Almost hung an ornament. Could have been an Easter egg for a kid to come find here at the park on Sunday. The 2-2 again. Upstairs, ball 3. Good battle going. Full count inside, but it caught a piece of the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Bocock. Addie got behind the first batter, ahead the second. We'll see what she does here. Madison Hoffman, another sophomore, starting at second today. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And she'll put this one into the empty spot just beyond first base. And Lady Arrows, chance to try to get a 2-out rally going. Rowan Garn, your cleanup hitter. Third baseman, just a freshman. Kind of crazy how many underclassmen are starting for a program as large as Ashland, but that's the hand that's been dealt here to Coach Van Horn. A lot of these sophomores got plenty of playing time as freshmen too. So a good program foundation for this team here moving forward for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Garn stands in, and she'll foul that one back straight away. Bocock a chance to get out of the inning here. Here's what Addie Bocock's done so far this season. I mean, pretty stupid numbers, right?
Impressive, absolutely. 80 strikeouts. She is solid on the mound.
And, of course, a perfect 8-0. That's the most impressive number so far here for the Blue Devils. 12 games in and just rarely even tested. This one at the shortstop. The throw and the stretch is made. So Ashland puts one aboard with 2 down, but they'll go no further with Garn getting out to the shortstop. So we've told you about Ashland and their season so far. Now it's time to learn about their opponent here today, the undefeated 12-0 Lady Devils of Danville. Picking up right where they left off last season, Cathy. Crazy run differential, 130-17 so far. you can't do a whole lot better than that, and that's why they've caught the eye, of course, of the voters, and they're #1 in the entire state in D6.
Absolutely. Just proven dominance in that run and allowing so few runs from their opponents. It's just really impressive.
Undefeated league champions a season ago, and off to that exact same start again here this year, looking to become back-to-back champs without a blemish within the league. Still have Fredericktown to come up in both of those matchups. Your leadoff hitter, Addison Mickley, is our player spotlight tonight. One of the key contributors back from last year's championship run, producing basically a hit every other time she gets up at bat. 6 doubles, and at the top of the order, she's just one of those type of cats that you rely on to get on base, and she's come home plenty of times, also driven in 13 of her own.
Really impressive out there. She comes out strong, sets the tone for the inning offensively, and then just allows her teammates to come in and support that.
Really strong in center field as well. Impressive speed. And so was that on that first pitch, as it's strike one here to start off the top of the second. Henderson with the pitch, and that's in there for strike 2. So the two pitchers dueling it out right now. Bocock, a solid hitter too. You saw the unbelievable numbers in the circle, and just misses this one down the third base line. The freshman ahead in the count. Puts it in there and nubbed just down the first base line. Over to cover and the out. So Bocock goes down here. A bit of a tough break that ended up staying fair. And for the Arrows, a quick first out.
Just far enough into the infield for the infielder to snag it quickly.
Another first pitch strike. This time it's on the inside to Taylor Mead. Having a sensational junior year. Taylor with a .470 average. Looking for her 16th hit of the year. We were talking about it in the first inning. You don't have a whole lot of girls that are batting, number 7 in the lineup, that are hitting about 500 and looking for that type of hitting percentage.
Just an all-around offensive team. Everybody on the lineup is just impressive behind their bat.
Just good team chemistry from top to bottom. And much like Ashland, a lot of these kids got playing time when they were younger players, and it's now coming to fruition where they're veterans, they're juniors, they're seniors, and off to this incredible start. As this one dribbles foul. But I think a matchup like this, probably really cool for the Arrows to be able to see a team that was in the situation that they were in just a couple of years ago, and what can be if you stick with it.
Absolutely. Gives them the opportunity to see what overcoming some adversity looks like and the confidence they need to do that themselves.
This pitch gets away from the catcher. As the breeze dying down just a hair here for the time being. Still blowing in from left field as there's a swing and a miss, and it's 2 down as Mead represents the second strikeout so far tonight for Henderson. What are you seeing here on this pitch, Cathy?
I think that she has got that confidence with 2 down. She's going to come in aggressively with some pitching and get ahead of that batter.
A lot of break on that strikeout pitch as well. Bent away from the hitter. Now to the bottom of the lineup, Kenzie Stotts. And she'll fall into an 0-2 hole. Wind gusts up around 20 miles per hour right now. Cloud coverage here at Marshall Park, but temperatures, finally, spring has arrived. 78 degrees right now, Cathy.
It is wonderful. Long overdue for some nice warm weather. We'll see how long it lasts.
Charging is the first baseman, and tough to see with the dugout right in front of us. Looks like she came up just a little bit short. The 0-2 pitch. Slap foul.
A lot of great at-bats from both teams. Just everybody's trying to put a ball in play, holding those pitches and batters out for as long as they can.
Good battle going here. Upcoming will be the 5th pitch. All of them have been strikes so far up to this point. That's what you're looking for from your young pitcher, Marley Henderson. Pep it around the strike zone. And this one does too, and an excellent snag by Garn down the third base line. So the freshman coming through yet again. They'll keep the deficit just at 1-0 as they will be back up to bat when we return after a quick commercial timeout.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
The Mid-Ohio Spring Classic officially underway tonight. Danville right now in front 1-0. They'll be in the pitcher circle, and here's how they get it done. You just got to be able to back up Addie Bocock, play some air-free, mistake-free softball out there in the field, something they've done plenty of so far throughout the year, and collect some extra bases. Nothing changes momentum quite like a big-time hit, some of those two-out rallies. So for Danville, do what's happened so far through 12 games of the season, play some really solid defense, and if you can get some doubles, maybe even some triples, and it's kind of a shorter fence out here too, Cathy. If you can hit some bombs, even though it's kind of into the wind right now, could be very advantageous for the Blue Devils moving to 13-0. Hard to argue that, right? I mean,
absolutely. So much power offensively for Danville.
First pitch swung on right at the shortstop, and it's 1 down. Great timing here as McFrederick came out swinging, but there's that defense that we're talking about. Brinley Stitzline now, sophomore, getting her first look. Number 23 out of right field. It's a good look just at how much power Bocock's been able to produce from the circle. She swings her hips into it kind of at the last moment. And what I really do love so much and admire about softball pitchers is there's a lot of different ways to get the job done, just in terms of how, you know, some girls are a lot of shoulder. Obviously, there's a lot of hip rotation here from Addie. She kind of steps to the side as well. So
It really requires your whole body, and everybody's different. Everybody's strengths are different. Some have more upper body strength, some have more lower body strength, and pitchers just figure out what works for them and use that to their advantage.
2 strikes, no balls, and that's painted over the outside corner. 3rd strikeout tonight from Maddie Bocock. And that's the job of the catcher right there. Just kind of paint it, move it back just slightly right, Cathy, and give the umpire something to really think about.
Absolutely. Make it look effortless and beautiful for the umpire.
So 2 down here as Henderson makes her way into the batter's box. First at bat here for the starting pitcher on the opposite unit. Addie delivers and got her swinging. To try to set him down in order with this pitch, just missed. The 1-2 misses inside. Swirling breeze picking back up now. Almost seems to be coming from the opposite direction as it just was. As that is another ball, and that will land Henderson over on first. So after a great start to the at-bat, Bocock with 3 consecutive balls. And for the second straight inning, Ashland with 2 down gets a runner over to first. Emma Puckett now, the number 8 hitter, getting some instruction from Coach Van Horn. Look like an equipment issue as well here for Danville in there, catcher Brown. It's a lot of gear you have to have on to be the backstop there, though.
Head to toe.
How much total weight? Do you happen to know?
I don't know for sure. If I had to guess, probably somewhere but around 5 pounds of extra gear. It's lighter than you would think, actually. It's made to move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the leg supports. Almost looks like a transformer sometimes when these catchers go promenading around trying to make a big catch.
It does make you feel very powerful behind the plate with all that gear on.
Powerful throw over to first. Ends the inning. 4 up. And Danville gets out of it. We'll see you back here. Top 3 on the way.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Top three, Danville back up at the plate and back to the top of the order here with their leadoff lady, Addison Mickley. Flew out to the second baseman her first time up. And here she is taking ball one. I am Brian Skowronski, Cathy Sapp with me on the call here this afternoon on a nice warm afternoon. Marshall Park in Ontario. And the conditions with the breeze, obviously once the ball is in the air, it makes a pretty big difference. But what about just that pitcher to catcher transaction, Cathy, when you got these 20-mile-per-hour gusts as Mickley hits it back to the pitcher? What type of impact does that really have?
It's amazing how much the wind can carry a ball in every aspect of the game, whether it's the pitch coming in, whether it's the throw to first. The ball feels heavy, but it can be carried by the wind very easily, and it can really change what's happening in the course of a play.
Been able to get the leadoff hitter out twice so far. Has Henderson, the freshman, holding her own from the circle. And actually not a circle here. It's like a ladder-looking thing.
It is. It gets swapped out between baseball and softball because of the turf.
Big stick. The drive to left, and the catch is made. McFrederick there to produce the out. As Sapp now 0 for 1 on the day after walking her first time up. That'll bring up Marista Brown. Had an RBI double last time we saw her. Henderson's really eased into the afternoon nicely, though. Probably pretty intimidating going up against a 12-0 team that's got all these hitters 500 and above averages. And after that first inning, looking to get out of trouble again, as this one is slung out into left field, and that'll be a 2-out base hit for Brown.
When you're facing a team like Danville with such a great record, it is hard not to get in your own head. But they're doing a great job of being confident, holding Danville close, making good plays, and just playing good, consistent softball.
I think the longer that the evening goes along, and you don't want to wait too long, but as mentioned, no crooked numbers. You're within striking distance. You're one swing of the bat away from tying this thing up. Imagine that their confidence level's got to be growing with each pitch, and especially if they can get out of this third and it's still 1-0. Look for the arrows to start swinging some really confident bats up at the dish. The senior Humphrey with a swing and miss here. Evens up the count at 1-1. Humphrey with a gaudy 575 average on the year. Leads the team with 23 hits. It's almost 2 hits every single game.
That's what makes this Danville squad so successful. Just good, consistent at-bats paired with their defense. They are just a strong, solid squad.
The 1-1 runner goes. And the throw a little off target. So that'll put a runner in scoring position now. As the Blue Devils trying to change the narrative. Just talking on behalf of the Arrows and what it might do for them if they can get out of this thing, and it's still 1-0 for Danville as well. 2-out rallies. Certainly they start to spark the entire team. As this is popped down the right field line and fades out of play. Take a look at Humphrey, and again, there's going to be a lot of spotlights that we bring up for this Danville team, and you're just like, good Lord, that's a lot of offense, but perhaps her numbers are the best on the squad.
Absolutely. She is impressive for sure. 21 RBIs, 22 runs. Her batting average is so solid. Just a good, consistent hitter.
This one slapped deep, and that will make its way out of the park. A 2-run blast from Humphrey. And all of a sudden, it is a 3-0 game. Game-changing swing right there. And now you got to add to those digits of that graphic that we just showed.
She just keeps increasing those stats as we speak.
So a big 2-run blast. And that thing just seemed to just keep carrying and carrying. It felt like it was probably going to make its way down to the bottom of the fence. And then you see it take a couple hops out beyond. Just uncommon strength. And now she's got 23 RBI on the season. This one popped up, called for by the second baseman. Hoffman makes the out, but the damage done. The Lady Devils on the 2-run blast from Humphrey now lead it 3-0.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Back here at Marshall Park, game-changing 2-out swing for the Lady Blue Devils as they increase their lead now to 3-0 on the 2-run home run from Miss Humphrey. I'm Brian Skowronski along with Cathy Sapp, and was just talking in that last inning about how big it could be for Ashland to remain at 1-0, and then, well, maybe with the 2-out rally could kind of change the fortunes here for the Blue Devils. We'll see how much that impacts Ashland here when they're up at the plate now, knowing that it's going to take a little bit of work to get back into this thing.
Absolutely. They did a good job of minimizing the damage despite that home run, but if they can get some good offensive plays going, they can really make a comeback here.
It's in there for a strike as they're at the bottom of the order. McKenna Chandler, sophomore. First AB. Slaps that one straight back. Now 1-2. This is the first of 5 scheduled broadcasts that we'll have here at the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic. One of the more fun softball events in the entire state of Ohio. What I love so much about it, and this is kind of a unique situation where we would consider these on the OH Report 2 of our area schools, but for the most part, it'd be a team from Richland County or right around our area. Ashland County taking on a powerhouse from around the state, and just a pretty fun matchup and atmosphere that we've been blessed with here year after year.
It's a great opportunity to play some teams that you don't get to see on a routine basis. It really kind of expands your depth as far as the opponents that you face off against.
And it's a good look here for the Blue Devils going up against an Arrow squad that loaded with talent. It's young talent. And they're getting a good look so far here from Danville as that one, again, almost gets caught up within the tree limbs. The little plinko on its way down. Clink, 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 clink. $100.
You know, even though the at-bats have not always gone their way on the Ashland side, they're really battling at the plate. And now that I've said that, we have a nice hit out in the outfield.
Love getting that from your number 9 hitter as well as Chandler. The first player to reach base so far for Ashland where it hasn't been with 2 down. So a good, strong start for them in the third. Brings us to the top of the order now. back with Kirk. The freshman struck out her first AB. Josie Van Tilburg on deck. Pitches outside, and maybe by design, you saw how quickly the catcher came up out of her stance, anticipating a potential steal.
That runner on first is sending a message. She is getting a lead and indicating that she wants to go to second base at some point.
Little bunt, throw over to first, and the runner's going to try to go all the way to third, and she is in there. Throw getting away and off the arrow. The arrows are on the board. Heads up base running there by Chandler. Notice that the third baseman was a little out of position, went ahead and turned the corner. The bad throw, and sometimes you'll see that here in softball with this small compacted diamond, where this is all it takes is one bad throw and you're off to the races.
For sure. That can be an advantage or disadvantage depending on which side of the ball you're on. Ashland trying to shift that momentum a little bit this inning.
Another look at that pitch. A little bit upstairs, 2 balls, no strikes. Bocock checks her wristband, gets ready to deliver. Fireball right over the meat of the plate. Van Tilburg laces that one. It'll be out of play, though. And we'll even up the count at 2-2. Pitch up around the chin, and that will load up the count for this young lady, Josie Van Tilburg, in 9 games so far. Done a lot of her best work when she's been able to get on the base paths. You see the 12 runs and 4 stolen bases. So if you're Ashland, just got to hope that she's able to at least get over to first by drawing a walk or a single, as this one's flared to left. And Danville gets the out with Sapp tracking it down. Hoffman coming up next. Change up, sinks a little too low, and it's now 1-1. Arrows would love to put another runner over on first base here with 2 down for the 3rd straight inning if that were to be the case.
Got a lot of life left in this inning with only 1 out. If they can get some runners on, they can really make something happen.
Especially right now in the meat of the order. To center field, and Mickley able to snag it to end the threat. And Danville will now be back up to bat. Top of the 4th on the way here on the OH Report.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Back here for the fourth inning, and Danville getting their fourth crack here at Henderson, freshman pitcher, who's done well so far. Allowed the 3 runs, but the Arrows putting one on the board themselves in their last at-bat have gotten right back here into the game. See if they can keep this high-powered Danville offense in check.
The wind's picking back up. I don't see our friends, the cows, out in the pasture beyond the home run fence. They seem to have found some shelter from the wind.
Yeah, they're a little bit shy, just trying to track off camera. But we're going to move our camera over that way. Let's take a look at them.
It's not a softball game in the Midwest if you don't have a cow in the pasture.
Well, certainly not in Richland County.
For sure.
We've got a lot of places where there's more cows than fans typically that are participating in the outfield.
Well, they don't argue with the umpire, so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I'm sure the umps love that. Nice dime over to first base. And that'll be the first out as Payne goes down. Now 0 for 2 on her afternoon. Brings up Taylor Mead. Get her second at bat.
Ashland's doing a great job of making those routine plays. Despite the power that Danville brings, they're really doing a good job of holding them to minimal runs.
By my unofficial count, just 1 error between the 2 teams so far. And given the blustery winds and the situation that we have out there weather-wise, done a really nice job of holding their own. Little sidewinder right back to the pitcher, and Henderson gets the second out over to first. Oh, here we go, Cathy. I'm looking at the total weight that a catcher might have on, and we're looking at between 2.5, 3.5 pounds just for the face mask, the chest protector, 3 to 5 pounds. The leg guards can be right around 5 pounds. The mitts about 1.5 pounds. So I think you are underselling yourself a bit. You're packing around at least 10 extra pounds out there, I'd say.
I guess it was heavier than I remembered. I will agree with the headgear, especially once they changed to the hockey helmet style helmets. Those are pretty heavy. Kind of feel like a bobblehead doll at times.
Yeah. Especially when you're trying to get the pitcher, like encourage, just like, yep. You got this. Another nice pitch by Marley, too. Trying to shut Danville down in order for the first time tonight. The 1-2. Slap back at the shortstop, and we were just complimenting how well they've been playing error-free so far. That is the first so far of the afternoon, right into the 5-hole of Garn. So Mead reaches on an E5, and that'll bring Stotts up to the dish. Looking for her first hit tonight. Little low, but it's strike 1.
Base runner's thinking about it, was seeing what the catcher was going to do. Decided to stay on first.
The pitch to the sophomore drifts outside. Mead stays put over at first. Marley delivers. Right back at her. She'll have the backhanded snag and tosses a dart over to first base. So the error doesn't cost them as the Arrows get out of the frame. They're back up at the plate when we return here in the bottom of the fourth.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Ashland looking to cut into this 2-run deficit that they're facing now. Back up at the plate here, bottom of the fourth. And they will do so right in the middle of their order. I'm Brian. Cathy is with me here on a breezy day in Ontario. Opening night, first game here of the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic. Second year it's been moved out here to Marshall Park after spending many years out of Brookside in Ashland. And I think they found a new home, Cathy, with the turf infield. Obviously, we get a lot of rain during the spring months and seasons, so I think they found a good spot where we're able to, despite the weather conditions, get in the softball.
Absolutely. Get as many games in as possible. Easy to maintain the fields when that weather doesn't cooperate with us.
And Mother Nature, she tends to get an attitude when this tournament pops up. This is the 4th or 5th year in a row that we've tried to do this. Last year was the first time ever that we got in all of our scheduled games.
Well, hopefully tomorrow's weather doesn't end up being what it looks like it could be. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Base hit left field. Good stuff right here from Garn, and it'll be a stand-up double to start off the inning here for the Arrows. How about the freshman Rowan Garn stepping up her game? And that'll bring up McFrederick, our player spotlight tonight. And one of the few difference makers they have that's an upperclassman here on the roster. Isla lays down a bunt third base side. The throw's in time, but the runner will advance over to third. So the sack bunt works. And for McFrederick, here's what her seasons look like so far. Team player in her junior year. And just trying to set the table to try to trim this deficit down to 1.
Ashland's really working to prove that they are still in this game, that they are not backing down from this fight that Danville's putting up for them.
Brindley Stitzline awaiting the pitch way upstairs. Struck out looking her first look against Addie Bocock tonight. Heat-seeking missile just inside. Just one down here, the number 6 hitter. Takes a look at the 4th pitch in the at-bat. Half-hearted swing, and it's in there for a strike. Tough to tell if the umpire was saying that she went on that one or if it actually caught an inside portion of the plate. Regardless, it's 2-2. And now the pitch from the righty Bocock. And it's up in the attic. Big pitch coming up here. Brindley with a really wide hitter stance. And she'll leave that one alone, and it's a called strike 3. So back-to-back ABs, and she goes down looking. Nasty pitch there from Addie Bocock, as you saw, and a big smile on her face. Well deserved. I mean, she confused everybody, I think, with that one. Opposite way, fading out of play. As we get our second battle of the pitchers. Marley walked her first time up. And with Ashland getting that runner all the way over to third with one down. Big spot for them to try to light up our Carothers Pest Control scoreboard.
Yeah, big opportunity to close that gap a little bit with our tying run at the plate.
Danville has not played very many tight games like this throughout the season. A lot of run rule differentials. We mentioned in the pregame, so far on the season, and including tonight now, 133-18, they've outscored their opponents.
That is amazing. Really impressive.
Inside out, and she finds the gap. It is a one-run game. The freshman coming through. Just a gorgeous piece of hitting right here, Cathy.
Perfect placement. Right where she needed it to get that runner in.
So that brings in Garn. And we've got a pitch runner. So Henderson will take a seat and allow Eliana Markle to go tromp around on the base pass. As this one's popped up, and Bocock just flipped out her glove, somehow made the catch for out number 3.
Found herself in the right place. Almost surprised herself, I think, that she made it over to the ball in time.
That is how the 4th inning will end, but we have got a ball game, folks. Danville just leads by 1, but they're back up at the dish when we come back.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
So we welcome you back to Marshall Park. This is the first pitch, and it's a called strike here to Addison Mickley. 0 for 2 so far on her night. Mickley with a 550 OBP.
Good stretch by the first baseman there to make that play happen.
Yeah, I always marvel at that in both baseball and softball. Just How much flexibility you have to be a first baseman these days.
And to be able to find that bag with the foot every time, know that you're in the right place to be able to extend out and grab that ball, it's a real skill.
And they're typically some of the biggest, strongest players on the team too, so you might say, baseball and softball, how good of an athlete do you really have to be? Well, talk to the first baseman, right?
Absolutely.
Here comes the number 2 hitter, Sapp. So far, 0 for 1, walked her first time up, flew out to left field last time we saw her in the third. Anderson with the off speed. Gets her to hit it over to third base, and a nice strong throw from Payne. Represents the out.
Defensively, Ashland just continues to make those routine plays. They make them look easy. And despite, an error lasting minimal errors on the game, they're really being consistent defensively, and that's helped them stay close.
1 error on each side so far is all that we've seen to this point, as we're now at the number 3 hitter. It's Marista Brown, now in her senior campaign. She'll swing at this one and slap it foul. Brown with a .432 on base percentage, 14 hits so far. She's been swinging a hot bat tonight, 2 for 2. Pitcher's count, and it comes in low and outside. Henderson deals and catches her swinging. Third strikeout of the evening for the freshman. So the Blue Devils' lead remains at 3-2. As we'll keep it here for the 5th inning stretch. So you know what that means, Cathy? Me and you are already standing, but for those of you that are able, go ahead and get up. Get some of those flamingo stretches. I don't really remember what they're all called. Touch your toes, all that good stuff. And just take a look at our team spotlights for both of these squads. And for Ashland, as we already talked about, kind of a rough season for them last year, but see the sophomores that are out here playing well. Most of them were starters last year as their first season up at the high school ranks, and they've competed in this Mid-Ohio Classic, I think, more than any other team. They were the host school along with Hillsdale for many years, and Loudonville too. But not too long ago, in 1997, D1 state runners-up, have not followed it up with a ton of success since, but they're not too far removed from a time when they were competing for OCC championships. So perhaps this bunch going through some growing pains could be that next group that really makes it happen and end up in a position like Danville is, where you see undefeated K-MAC champs last year, and they've even got the ball rolling downhill even better this season.
Definitely an opportunity for them to learn and grow and show squads that there are better things to come if they continue to work as hard as they are.
2-1 record all time here at the Mid-Ohio Classic, as this one's hit right at Mickley. And Addison squeezes that one. 1 pitch, 1 out here for Danville. That brings us to the top of the order now for Ashland. Jade Kirk, 0 for 2 so far today. And at the the top of the order here and starting to run out of at-bats. This is probably this would be a good time for Ashland to start getting some base runners, Cathy.
Absolutely. This is the point in the game where, fatigue can set in a little bit defensively. Fielders can be more apt to make some mistakes because they're tired or whatever's going on. So it could be an opportunity for Ashland.
Bocock with the pitch. Leaves that one down and outside. I think just on top of that physical fatigue that you might feel, just the mental focus it's really tough in a sport like baseball and softball. That's why it was not, for me, someone that's got some super hyperactive ADD. You got to really take off about 10 seconds and then get dialed in again, and then take off 10 seconds and then find it over.
You do, absolutely. You have to be able to regain that focus every time. Otherwise, that's when mistakes happen, and the other team can really take advantage.
Foul ball over by field number 3. And I think all the fields are in use right now. So plenty of teams are here. We are going to keep our focus on field 2 with our coverage. As we get a swing and a miss and a big strikeout here. Addie Bocock sets down the first 2 in order. And that'll bring up Van Tilburg. So we saw earlier, Cathy, that we've got a little bit of wildlife. We saw some cows in the outfield. How about some Lady Colts now?
They came to play. They're here for the 7:30 game.
That's right, and we will have that coverage for you guys. The 7-3 Lady Colts going head-to-head with D1 powerhouse Anthony Wayne. Really fun matchup there. 2 defending league champions, and both with ginormous expectations for this year. And if you want to see just a loaded with talent roster from top to bottom, Anthony Wayne, I believe, has 3 Division I commits up at the top of their lineup. Bocock ahead in the count, 0-2. And here comes the Van Tilburg, off speed, and not swinging for ball 1. Slap foul first base side. Keep the at-bat alive.
Danville's really trying to stay dialed in defensively here, trying to keep that lead.
Have not sat down the order in succession yet tonight. This would be the first time if they can get the out, and they will indeed. So the Lady Devils, with the 1-run differential, they'll look to add to that when we see them back up at the dish here after a quick commercial timeout.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
have reached the 6th inning and more creatures here overhead at Ontario. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that this was all country life, right, Cathy? So we're just getting back to the roots of the community.
For sure. This was a farm not all that long ago.
Yeah, I've heard that the new Ontario has really just come like in the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm. That was all farmland, some residential housing in certain parts, and it really has become an area for businesses to come and grow.
A lot of retail here off of Lex Spring Mill, certainly plenty of restaurants.
And then right in the middle, a hospital.
Yes, ma'am. But a good one, Avita.
Absolutely.
As it's a 4-pitch walk to start things off, and Danville gets the leadoff runner aboard. It's Humphrey. And I probably, after the 2-run blast that she hit in her last at-bat, I wouldn't have gave her anything to chew on either. Brings up Bartok here. And the second baseman, deep drive to left. But the catch is made. McFrederick with a nice beat on it. And she'll keep the runner standing over at first. Brings up Maddie Payne, senior shortstop. 490 average so far this year. 0 for 2 tonight. 19 hits, though, collected so far. Breeze really starting to pick up as the runner takes off for second. And she's in there. Easy stolen base by Humphrey. It looks like on the season, Humphrey 100% on 6 stolen base attempts so far.
Definitely evidence of that aggressive base running with the lead she's taking out at second.
It's one of my favorite parts about softball is just how compact the diamond is in the base running. It's a whole nother game within a game sometimes.
You don't have a lot of time to change your mind. So if you're going to make a decision to move to the next base, you are committed to it.
Another big leadoff for Humphrey. And she struts back over to second. And a hitter's count here, 3-1.
I love what that smaller diamond does for the pace of play, though. It keeps things moving. It keeps things exciting because things can happen and change so quickly.
And that's the case here now for Danville as they've got 2 runners out on the base pass. First time for either side that we've seen 2 runners aboard so far. So the pitchers have really done an excellent job of just kind of dictating the pace of the game. And that's what this guy's done phenomenally so far. Danville really has become a powerhouse. You see the 2 times that he's been the district coach of the year, the league coach of the year last season, and certainly feels like Charlie's going to get probably both of those awards again here in 2025. Member of the football team coaching staff too. He's just a really well-liked community member and a big part of getting all the money together for the new press box that they have at Darcy Field, which we really appreciate. So kudos to Charlie Duncan and everything that he has done for the community down in Danville.
Nice, and a great record in his 6 seasons, 90 and 30. Really impressive what he's been able to do.
Winning percentage of 65-ish%, somewhere around there.
Good math, good math.
Looks like that hit Bocock. Take another look at our strategic outdoor solutions replay. She showed bunt, leaned in, and it might have caught her on the leg. Tough to tell from our vantage point. Nevertheless, that will fully load up the bases, and I think we might be getting a pitcher's change out there as Avery Klein is now stepping into the circle ladder thing. And Michelle Van Horn talking to the umpire, so they will indeed make the switch. Nice job, though, for the starter tonight, Henderson, the freshman, allowing the 3 runs. As her day is done here in the 6th.
But really a great contribution tonight for her. She really did a great job holding her own.
Take a look at some of the comments coming in here on the live stream. Let's say what's up to Danielle watching on Game Changer. Just watch here. Probably a little bit better broadcast. I hope so, Danielle, but then you have to listen to me and Cathy. Daniel Stotts cheered on the Lady Arrows today. Scott Mickley is who's providing the broadcast on the Game Changer, but he's actually watching ours and then tagging himself. Way to go, Scott. Angela Hill says, let's go Lady Arrows. And Joshua Banks says, hello on a beautiful Friday. And Dan he's just not a fan of the replays, Cathy, but I think it's pretty awesome, actually, to be able to watch at a little bit slower speed, especially the delivery of some of these pitches. It's one of the bonuses that we have here on the OH report for you guys.
Like we said, pace of play. You got to go back and take a look sometimes because things are just happening so fast.
So the new pitcher, Klein, and gets a pop
Catcher
out.
snags it.
What a diving play right there from Kirk. Grade this one for me, Cathy. Former catcher, this is not an easy out.
Not at all. I mean, my real-time reaction tells the whole story. I was so impressed by that. Yeah, nothing bigger rush-wise for a catcher than being able to just dive and snag one of those foul balls. Just really tell the batter, go on back to the dugout where you came from.
And especially didn't even lose the mask.
No. Effortless. Made it look good.
So that's the second out now. As she dills that one in.
Both teams just really tough efforts tonight, making sure that the other team knows we are here to play, especially coming in with opposite win records, really. 3 losses versus 3 wins coming into this game.
That one just does get away from Kirk, and the wild pitch puts Blue Devils now up 4-2. And what momentum they could have had getting out of this bases loaded jam unscathed with the senior Avery Klein coming, or the sophomore rather. But can still stay very much in the ball game if they can get out of here with no more outs, but right on cue. Slapped back up the middle. And we've got an RBI hit. And now taking second base. Big stuff there for Payne. Or Stotts, rather, excuse me, just came up with that hit. And that'll get us back to the top of the order here with Addie Mickley, now in a 5-2 game.
Had to really duck to get out of the way of that one. Quick thinking by the batter.
See a lot of action going on there, all piled up around second base. As Stotts takes her lead. Meade standing over at third. And Mickley looking to bring him home. The pitch. And it's outside from the lefty. Runners stay put on the 2-1 count. Outside 3-1.
Got a lot of foul balls flying around here in between the fields. If you're a spectator, you really got to keep your head on a swivel out here.
I think somebody did just get caught by one, right?
Look that way. Nothing serious, just a little softball spectating hazard of the game, I suppose.
I see some very important people starting to funnel in here. A mayoral candidate giving us a quick wave. As that pitch comes in for ball one. Second pitch into Sapp, though called for a strike. Working quickly now is Avery Klein. And here is Abby Sapp's number so far on the year. 22 ribbies. Another one of these girls up at the top of the order that just, they come through with runners in scoring position. And that's the case again here. Bases juiced. And that's got to bring with it a whole new electricity when you're standing in the batter's box.
Oh, for sure. Being able to take advantage of having those runners on base, getting them where they need to go is an important task. Danville does it really well.
But they do get the out, just barely getting over to second base in time. That's a tough bang-bang play there. Garn gets it done. But the Arrows now trail by 3, and they're down to their last 6 outs. We'll see you bottom 6 on the way.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Deficit for Ashland has grown now since the last time we saw him up at the dish, but 3 more outs coming up for him here in the 6th inning, and they'll do so right in the meat of their lineup. Hoffman starting things off here. Madison had a single earlier on in the afternoon. And she looks here at ball 1.
Ashland really proving to be contenders in this game. Just need a big opportunity to make something happen.
And if you look at Danville's season from top to bottom, they have not been tested really at all. Their closest game came on the 11th of this month at Centerburg, 9-6, so they still won by 3. Centerburg, their other closest game at 5-0. A lot of blowouts, Cathy. Plenty of games ended before it should have, as this one blistered out of the park. It's going to be a solo blast, and the Arrows showing a little bit of life here in the 6th. Big shot from Hoffman, and she's met by a crowd at home plate. So the Lady Arrows pulled back within 2. And there's been a couple of moments tonight where you're like, okay, now Danville's got a little bit of breathing room. Excellent response here by Ashland to get right back in it.
They have been great at keeping Danville close and just proving that they are not done with this fight just yet.
Addie Bocock, though, starting off Garn with a first pitch strike. Danville getting their best test so far of the season as this is flared out the right, and then it'll land right in front of Stotts. So the Arrows start the inning 2 for 2. Now Isla McFrederick, just one swing away from squaring things up. Righty-lefty matchup. Squares it up. Danville was ready for it. They'll get the first out. Third base, open momentarily, but Ashland able to get in there. Second time tonight we've seen that from the Arrows on the base pass.
Really aggressive base running, but it has paid off for Ashland every time.
So that lands Rowan over at third base, just one down. And stats line up at the dish. Pivotal part of the game right here. Bocock taking her time. Checking over with Charlie Duncan and the staff. And now she's ready for the windup. Inside, but it catches a piece of the plate. Second pitch of the sophomore. Bats it right back at her. The runner is going to take off, and she is safe. Wow. Certainly looked like Brown was there. There's not a force out, though, however. You got to be able to tag her. Get a great look here on our Strategic Outdoor Solutions replay. Nice job by Addie. She thought holding the runner over at third, and what say you, Cathy Sapp?
I say the tag wasn't quite in time. That quick split-second decision to be aggressive with base running has paid off yet again.
So the RBI fielder's choice from Stitzline pulls the Arrows back within just one run, 5-4. Take one more look at this thing. Yeah, nice clean slide. And tough, the bat laying right across home plate, too, as Garn came sliding in.
Always so chaotic when those plays happen at the plate. Got batters and bats and base runners, oh my.
Oh my. And what a game we've got going on here. Blue Devils and Arrows really coming down to the wire, bottom six. And for the first time tonight, multiple runs scored by Ashland in an offensive at-bat. This one skied back towards us. I don't know, had me kind of tensing up a little bit.
More foul balls flying our way.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique press box up here. You can see all the fields depending on which side you stand on. So we're in a position where pretty much any foul ball can come back this way. As they do get the out, Addie Bocock deals a nice one over the outside portion of the plate, sets Henderson down, but Ashland right back in it. We'll see if Danville can create a little bit of breathing room in their final at-bat.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Top of the 7th, first pitch. Danville back up at the plate, and things have really tightened up. The #1 team in all of Division 6 has been crushing the competition so far. But not tonight. A young but game Ashland Arrows Club has clawed their way right back in at 5-4. As Danville looking to create some space straight away, and that is out of here. Home run belted by Brown. And Marista rounding the bases, so it seems like we've had punches, counter punches. Maybe this will be the knockout blow.
And just like that, the gap expands. Danville showing yet again what a powerhouse they are offensively.
Big swing of the at-bat right here from Marista. #15th hit, her second dinger so far of the year. And big emotion right there. We mentioned they haven't been in a game yet this season where very few that have even gone the distance to the 7th inning. So to be in one that's a one-run game, I think this is a really good sign for Charlie Duncan's club to come out here, 2 pitches, and you slug one over center field.
For sure. They needed that little boost of confidence here at the tail end of this game.
Pitch is low and outside here from Avery Klein. Took over for Henderson about an inning and a half ago. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike. Humphrey's got a home run of her own tonight. And now she's got a single right up the middle.
Ashland keeping her at first base, not letting her have that advancement to the next base.
Humphrey now 2 for 3 on her afternoon, also with a walk. Brings up Bartok. Walked her first time up. Recorded outs her last 2 at-bats. She'll get ahead. First pitch ball, second one swinging, but it fades foul. Ruby, a power hitter. As that one gets away from the catcher. Second wild pitch that we've had tonight. So Humphrey advancing over to second. And this one misses as well. Lady Devils looking for more insurance runs. Dribbler back to the shortstop. And they'll get the out over at first as Humphrey makes her way over to third base. Just one down here, top of the 7th. Good looking pitch as Payne, a swing and a miss. Payne 0 for 2 here this evening. Walked her last time up. Now some chants starting to cascade out of the Danville dugout. Always impressed with just the kind of the continuity. There's a lot of fun chants that these girls put together. Sometimes they're super loud. Other teams don't quite have that same rhythmic beat, but the ones that do, it's a whole extra element to the game.
It really is, and you see it from Little League all the way up to the collegiate level. It's a really fun thing to watch that evolve as the players get it more experience.
RBI hit here for Danville, another insurance run. And just when they were starting to feel a little bit of that hot breath on the back of their neck here from Ashland, they stretch the lead back out to 3. As Payne comes up with the RBI. Bocock now at the dish. Payne standing on second. Big swing from her. Third baseman calls for it, easy out. And that'll be the second. Taylor Mead's turn now. Looks at a first pitch strike. Third wild pitch now from the left hand of Avery Klein. And they've all missed in that exact same location.
Seems to be that outside corner. It's hard to reach, and that ball can just get back away from you quick.
Similar spot this time handled by the catcher. Now tap back, 2-2 the count. Klein looking to get out of the inning. She deals and hops it into Kirk. Nice backhanded stab.
Looked like she caught the outside of her leg as she tried to release that ball.
Quickly back in there, Dillon. Double hopper back to her. She'll shovel it over to first base. And that is how the inning will end, at least this top half. Ashland has 3 outs. Got to get to work here. We'll see if they can put some heat on Danville when we come back.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
Back here for the bottom of the 7th. Ashland potentially down to their last 3 outs. And they've got their backup pitcher Avery Klein here at the dish, the lefty, looking for some heroics. Check swing, and it's upstairs for a ball. So 1-1 the count. Blue Devils now with the 7-4 cushion, tacked on 2 insurance runs in their offensive half of the 7th. And what a great answer after Ashland put some heat on them, Cathy, with 2 runs there in the 6th inning.
They really did. They have done a great job of keeping Danville close and proving that they're in this game. So let's see what they do the bottom of the 7th inning.
Bocock Dills chopped back to the second baseman off the one hopper. And that'll be the first out here on the bottom half of the 7th. To the bottom of the order now with Chandler on the way up. 1 for 2 so far here on our evening. She singled and scored on an error back in the 3rd. And the Arrows desperately could use a base runner. Bocock taking her time. Addie with a delivery, and it's popped up a mile high and into shallow territory. That'll be a base hit and a good sign here for the Arrows as they get back to the top of the order.
Ashland has done a great job of setting up opportunities this evening to put themselves in position to be competitive in this game.
Been a few times we wanted to count them out. They were down on the mat. They just keep picking themselves back up. And here they go, just 1 down here, and potential to try to get another runner on here with Kirk at the dish.
I think perseverance is the word of the game tonight.
And for a young club, that's what you're looking for here if you're Michelle Van Horn, just to see the gutsy performance by her crew. They have given Danville the best shot that any team has all season long. The pitch to Kirk, and she'll square up. Try to lay that one down and advance the runner. Kind of an interesting call here, Cathy, with the 3-run differential, and you've only got 2 outs left.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but it depends on how skilled the bunter is. If they have a great ability to advance a runner and they're fast, it could really put 2 runners in place.
Kirk has struck out twice so far here tonight, so Bocock's had the upper hand here in this head-to-head battle. Count even, 2 apiece. Chandler standing over on first. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs. And now we've got a full count. Bocock winds the payoff pitch. In on the hands, and she's able to force the pop-up. 2 down now.
Danville is 1 out away from sealing the deal here.
Push them to 13-0. If they can get this final out with Josie Van Tilburg coming up to the plate. 0 for 3 so far on the afternoon. Josie swings at the first pitch, and she'll bloop it into left field. So 2 runners aboard now. And the tying run coming up to the plate in Hoffman. Last time we saw her in this position, hit a solo shot just last inning. Be interesting to see what Coach Duncan does here, sending in some instructions, and they're just going to intentionally walk her. So,
not taking any chances.
Yeah, the base is chucked now. What a moment on the way here for Garn. Rowan's just a freshman. A chance to try to dethrone an undefeated team with 1 swing of the bat. It's a pretty cool moment probably right here for her.
For sure. She has been so cool and calm this whole game, though.
She does have hits her last 2 at-bats, including a double in the 4th. The 0-1 pitch, Garn leaves it up around her neck. Addie sends inside again on the hands, popped up. Mickley comes in and she has caught the snag. So Danville pulls it out. 7-4 victory here over the Arrows to start off the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic with a victory and move to 13-0 so far on their season. We will step aside with a commercial timeout. We will be back. We'll wrap things up with your post-game show presented by the Ontario Youth Sports Leagues. And then also hear from your most valuable player, brought to you by CB Electrical. That is all on the other side. Keep it here. We'll be right back live and free.
Since 1974, Simonson has helped their clients stay on target to meet the goals and deadlines for their projects. From concept to completion, Simonson can design a plan and build a path for success. Let Simonson Construction turn that vision into a reality.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
Today's live and free softball game from the Mid-Ohio Spring Classic in beautiful Ontario is brought to you by Carothers Pest Control. Carothers is looking to add to a new technician to the team, and they're offering 401k, PTO, and more. Reach out to learn more. Also by Ontario Youth Sports, CB Electric, Strategic Outlook Solutions. Strategic Outdoor Solutions. They are real results, real growth, and schedule weekly lawn maintenance, spring cleanups, landscaping online at strategiclawn.com. Hospice.com. Also by Avita and Simonson Home Construction. And we will have your MVP and post-game breakdown with Brian and Cathy in just a moment. We'll take a quick break and rejoin you back here live and free from Ontario.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, our caring professionals are ready to serve you with personally tailored services designed to meet the unique needs of each individual. When we take on a patient at Avita Home Health and Hospice, they really do feel like family. So when we take care of our family, we want to take care of the whole person. So we take care of them from our nurses, our aides, our physical, occupational, and speech therapists, but we also have people that tend to their hearts. So we have social workers, we have chaplains, and people that can help with the emotional side of their care.
At Avita Home Health and Hospice, we have a dedicated team that takes care of you. Caring for the whole person is our promise to you. From social and emotional well-being to the way the patient relates to their loved ones, we treat your family like our family.
Serving patients and their families wherever they call home, including assisted living facilities and nursing homes. Call 1-800-4NURSES to see if Avita can help administer your plan of custom care.
We're back now with your most valuable player, presented by CB Electrical, and Marissa Brown is joining me here. The Slugger 3 for 4 today, but I want to talk about the win first. Obviously undefeated so far in the season, but you haven't been tested really like you were in this game. How much fun was it to get an opportunity to be in a game where it's boiling down to the wire and the other team gave you their best shot?
I mean, it was lots of fun. Our team worked hard. We communicated really well. We just had to be disciplined at the plate, and I think we did it well. So.
And I think specifically, every time that they were able to come up with a run, you guys answered right away. So that took a little bit of guts, of course, and then it just showed that this is a team that is a force to be reckoned with. How much have you been able to do that so far throughout the season, where you're just able to match with a counter punch right away after the other team scores?
We do that pretty often. Our coaches always preach win the inning, because if you win the inning, you win the game. So, I think we always answer with a good punch. So, yeah.
All right, individually 3 for 4 at the plate today, and you had that nice home run. Talk about just how you're seeing the ball right now in the batter's box and how good it felt to come out here and deliver in the first game of this Mid-Ohio Spring Classic.
Yeah, I've been working really hard with the team, trying to get able to be disciplined at the plate, and, she was bringing me right what I wanted, so just had to go get it.
The weather's been crazy so far this spring, but at least a little bit of warmth. The breeze, though, did that have big impact today on the game out there on the field?
It had an impact definitely on the outfield flies. Some of them look like they're great off the bat, but then the wind pushes it in, so it's difficult to read, but I think our team did really well at it.
13-0 so far out of the gates. You're ranked #1 right now in your division in the state. How much fun has it been to be a part of this team up to this point and so far checking all the boxes?
Oh, it's been a blast. I mean, our team does so well together. We all love each other so much. It's just been so much fun.
Well, let's shout out there on the field. Congratulations on a big win. Before we let you go celebrate with your team, go ahead, look in the camera, shout out anybody you want.
I like to shout out our fans. They're awesome. My parents are always supporting me. My boyfriend, he's so supportive, and the team, they work really hard. So shout out to all of you.
All right, CB Electrical Player of the Game, Marissa Brown.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
as it's a 7-4 victory here for the Danville Blue Devils as they remain undefeated on the season, now 13-0 overall, but a really game performance by a young Ashland Arrows squad. I'm Brian Skowronski. Cathy Sapp joined me here tonight for the contest, and I love what we saw on both sides. Love what I heard from Marista too, that this was a cool opportunity for them going up against a bigger school, and they took a couple of really good counter punches from Ashland, and they were able to answer. But on the flip side, too, for a team that's predominantly freshmen and sophomores, you just went toe-to-toe with the #1 team in the state in D6. So I think that there's a lot of positives on both sides to take out of this.
Absolutely. Danville proved yet again what they're capable of doing and how consistently they win ball games. But Ashland was not counted out. I actually spoke with one of the umpires walking by, and he said, this is one of the few times that they didn't run rule another team. And so Ashland remained in that game. They stayed competitive, really proved that they are competitors at this level.
They were able to put 9 hits out in the field of play as well against Addie Bocock, a young lady who's now 8-0 as a starting pitcher so far on the year. So compliments all the way around to Coach Van Horn's club for sticking with it. And there was a couple times where you really felt like, okay, Danville probably just rocked the baby to bed, but no, they stayed up. They were not interested in going away quietly and then even load the bases there at the end of the game. So that's a team that's got a lot of potential here for the rest of the year and obviously moving forward.
Absolutely. A great learning experience for them, proof that they can compete with some really great talent out there, and that will only prove to be positive for them in the future.
And for Danville, the #1 team in the state in Division 6, pretty exciting, I think, for them to get a close game, obviously, and then to pull it out, a couple of situations at the end that they have not been in, period, all season long, Cathy. So I think this is a fun experience to come out here, go up against a bigger school, like we said, and for Danville, might answer some questions that they've been asking themselves. When you come out and you score 10 runs in an inning like they've done so often this year, and you're just ending the game 4.5 innings in, you don't get a chance to go deep into the game like Addie did today. She has not pitched in the 7th very much, so good learning experience for them, and to come out on top, big cherry on top as well.
Absolutely. Proves that stamina there and that they are set up for success for the season as it goes on, and, for their postseason matchups as they encounter teams that are going to hold the fair to their feet and keep them, a little bit closer.
That will do it, though, here for our first of 2 scheduled broadcasts tonight. Could not bring it to you live and free without the help of all of our generous sponsors and our crew here, Adam Thompson, Jory Hollenbeck, and Cathy Sapp. Shout out to Carothers Pest Control, CB Electrical, Ontario Youth Sports, Strategic Outdoor Solutions, and Avita Home Health and Hospice, along with Simonson Construction Services, Inc. We are out here at Marshall Park live and free thanks to contributions from all of them. So big thank yous. Please do support those that support our local athletes. We'll see you right back here, Field 2, for Game 2 of the night. Clear Fork in Anthony Wayne on the way. See you soon.